This looks good.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like there's any gluten-free options.
Here is your rosé. Are we ready to order, or do we need another moment?
I'm gonna need to see your gluten-free menu. You have one, don't you?
We do not.
Well, I'm looking at the chicken parmesan. Can you make that without breading? And instead of regular pasta, substitute it with zucchini spiralized pasta?
No.
No?
Yes.
So you can?
No. That was a yes to your no.
What?
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Well, then I can't eat anything here.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. I'm gluten intolerant.
No, you're not.
Excuse me?
Well, you can have anything on the menu you'd like because you're not gluten intolerant.
You don't even know me.
You're right. I probably don't. But if I was taking a stab at who you are and your status with gluten, I would first consider that the majority of gluten intolerance comes from genes originating in northern European regions with a food supply uninclusive of gluten-containing grains for thousands of years.
So?
Hey, pal, I don't know.
Which tends to mean people with blue or green eyes are more likely to carry the genes for gluten intolerance. Yet your brown eyes, along with the observation that you shave your arms, obviously due to an unusual amount of arm hair for a woman, indicate that the majority of your genes likely come from Italian heritage. Italy is a region of the world where gluten has been eaten for thousands of years, and therefore genetic adaptation has indeed occurred, and thus, you're probably not gluten intolerant.
You know what? Who do you think you are to tell me I'm not gluten intolerant?
Not to mention the fact that you carry a reasonable amount of intestinal inflammation as evidenced by that line across your iris. Classic sign in iridology, Carl. Presumably from your excessive drinking of rosé.
Hey, listen, buddy. I'm just not going to let you talk to her that way.
You can sit down.
Sorry about that.
We know who wears the pants in this family.
Yes, sir.
And about your rosé habit, if you were truly serious about your intestinal health, as any genuinely gluten-free person would be, you wouldn't be self-medicating with a prime intestinal inflamer, alcohol.
Oh, no, she's gluten intolerant. She's been tested by her doctor.
I doubt that. Your devotion to wearing essential oils, along with the unusual suppleness of your upper trapezius, suggests you're very active in the yoga community. And because of the collective values of that community, you're not the type of person that goes to a doctor unless there's an emergency. Ashtanga yoga, right?
I'm not telling you.
Yes, it is.
Really, Carl?
One wouldn't have to be too outrageous to accurately deduce that the same need that drives you to regularly partake in trendy health practices like yoga has been the motive driving your gluten-free identity.
Oh, no, you're wrong about that. She visits her doctor weekly.
We both know that's not true. So you can start asking yourself, where is she really going when she goes to visit her doctor each week?
I'm offended you would make assumptions about me. Who do you think you are? You're just a waiter.
Offended? Yes, of course you are. I imagine it's your desperate need for a sense of significance that causes you to regularly get offended, whereby you victimize yourself to get other people to pay attention to you. That's why you love Twitter. Being outraged gives you a sense of significance, doesn't it?
Of course not. You have no right.
I think we both know if you were genuinely gluten intolerant, you wouldn't get offended by someone suggesting you are not gluten intolerant because you would be inherently secure in the truth of who you are. But you're not. You're insecure in who you claim to be because it's rooted in falsehood. Therefore, you're offended. And that's not cool.
I am gluten intolerant. I have celiac disease.
You're certainly not celiac, even though you like to leverage the possibility that you might be in the minds of other people to manipulate them with your gluten-free demands. Pretending to be celiac when you're not is another way you victimize yourself.
I'm not pretending. I do have celiac. It's a condition. It's very painful. I get very bloated.
Nuh-uh. It's unmet needs from your childhood, the same ones that cause you to make this man into your surrogate father, and you try to control him. Also, Daddy can never leave you again, because it made you feel insignificant when he did.
But I...
Didn't it? But some would say you're committing cultural appropriation against celiacs, a very sick minority of people with real health struggles. And that's not okay to do, even if you had a tough childhood.
No, that's not what I'm doing. I demand to speak to a manager.
Calling on a surrogate parental figure when it feels like your world's being shattered? You had high expectations of who your stepfather was going to be for you, didn't you? But then he fell short when he started viewing you as an obstacle to your mother's affection. I think you'll feel the same way about our manager. Classic projection, Carl.
I want to talk to a manager, please.
I wouldn't look to him to rescue you. The manager's not your father. Carl's not your father. And your stepfather certainly wasn't your father. Only your father was your father. And he left you. You need to grieve the loss of your father, or you'll never truly let Carl into your heart.
Carl, do something!
All right, that's enough.
Not this time. I'm saying what he's wanted to say ever since you started making his life a living hell with your dogmatic gluten-free demands to compensate for how out of control you feel about your life. Right, Carl?
Yeah, maybe.
And the fact that he's drinking rosé leads me to believe that you gluten shame him into being compliant with your misgendered gluten intolerance. Yet the calluses on his hands suggest he's a man's man and would love nothing more than a cold beer, which contains gluten. On draft IPA, Carl?
Yes, please.
And for your entree?
I'll have the pasta and clams.
And for you, ma'am?
Well,
Look, are you going to stay with your facade of gluten intolerance that makes you the bane of everyone else's existence while you desperately cry out for your father's attention? Or are you ready for gluten freedom?
yes, I am.
Great! What'll you have?
The pasta and clams.
Excellent choice. We'll have that right up. Here's some bread for the table. Good work, Carl.
You know, I really like this place. And who's this guy you've been visiting when you tell me you're going to the doctor's office?
Shut up, Carl.
Censorship is not part of our family values. If you want to help defeat censorship, I'd love to have you join my email newsletter list. Just go to awakenwithjp.com/join me. I'll see you on the inside. Hi, I don't like blue light because it's oppressive to my balanced hormonal nature. And that's why I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Blue Blocks, my favorite evidence-based blue light blocking glasses. Blue light! All rage aside, Blue Blocks has become my favorite part of my biohacking routine because I always want to feel and function my best. And now, as you can clearly tell because I'm standing by a tree at this point, the problem with blue light is it comes in and tells your body to wake up, it's daytime, so it amps up your hormonal system, but that's a problem at night when you're wanting to wind down so you can get good quality of sleep so you can wake up rested the next day. So what are you gonna do? But that problem is solved with Blue Blocks. You just put a pair on and it blocks the blue light so you can get good sleep and wake up feeling and functioning your best. Now, I don't wanna tell you how to live your life or judge you as a person, but if you don't use Blue Blocks to block blue light, you are truly a terrible person. No judgment. But for real, if you wanna join me in feeling and functioning your best with the help of Blue Blocks, just go to blueblocks.com/JP and please use the discount code JP to get 15% off.